Loki, who is the god of trouble, has always been a mysterious person. He has been the wild card for years, the charming liar who loves to cause trouble just to see how things turn out. But by the end of Loki's second season, he has changed into someone no one saw coming. A guardian of life and order across the whole multiverse. Yes, you heard that right, and a lot had happened in Loki's second season. Want to know what? Stay with us till the end of the video to find out. Here we begin. Loki has always liked to break rules, question what people expect, and look for holes in the system. But in the last episode of Season 2, he does the exact opposite. He uses all of his energy, power, and knowledge to guard instead of destroy. The moment when Loki realizes that the whole universe might end is the one that changes him. Destruction means there are no more timelines, universes, or lives. Loki, the god of tricks, is now the only one who can stop it. Loki chooses to stop a huge blast that is about to destroy the time loom. Finally, the time loom is this huge, mysterious machine that keeps the world together. It's what controls all the different timelines and stops them from getting out of hand, and everything else will go too if this thing goes. In a truly epic move, Loki slows down time to stop the blast. But this is not just about stopping a bomb, it's about changing the very nature of reality. Loki doesn't just make peace at the end of the day, he changes the game's rules. He doesn't bring back the old order, instead he makes something completely new. A multiversal tree that shows all the possible outcomes instead of a single controlled timeline. To understand what Loki does, you need to picture the universe as a huge web of timelines, with each one being a thread in a huge tapestry. These threads are full of energy, the kind that keeps the world going. But when the blast happens, these threads start to lose power and turn black as if they were dying. This is where Loki comes in. The MCU has always been interested in the idea that the world is made up of basic energies. Don't forget about the Infinity Stones. Each of those bad boys was in charge of a different basic force. The Space Stone, also known as Tesseract, is all about dark energy, which is what makes the world grow. There is dark energy in the MCU just like there is in real life. It's what keeps the world from collapsing in on itself. It's like the universe's life force is leaving when the blast happens, and the multiverse threads start to turn black. Everything is moving forward toward entropy, which means that everything is breaking down, disintegrating and stopping working. Loki, being Loki, won't let that happen. He ties himself to these threads that are dying and starts to feed them his magic. As if he wore a cosmic defibrillator, his green glowing energy would shock these paths back to life. And Loki changes as he does this. He's no longer just the god of chaos, he's now the god of the universe and the thing that holds everything together. Loki's trip up to this point has been hard on his body and his mind. He's walking through a world where timelines are falling, and each one is a universe that is about to end. Each step he takes a lot of effort because he's putting all of his energy into the threads to keep them from going away. It's a huge job, and Loki knows that everything will end if he fails. Loki finally gets to a throne, not just any chair, but a heavenly throne. Rocks of black and gold make up this chair. The citadel at the end of time is also made of these rocks. Do you remember that spot? He who remains hung out there and watched over the sacred timeline? That material, which is black and gold, is very strong and can store and boost huge amounts of energy. It's even used to make Loki's famous horns. When Loki finally sits on this throne, he will feel like he's linking with the most powerful source of power. The throne makes Loki stronger, and now he's not just keeping the universe alive, he's running it. The branches of the tree of multiple universes grow into parts of Loki himself. He can feel everything going on in the universe, from Mobius talking to Sylvie, to the smallest changes in timelines far away. Loki has changed from a trickster to a god who keeps everything together. The idea of the tree Loki makes is very interesting. This tree connects many worlds and is full of life, very different from the strict, never-ending sacred timeline that the TVA used to uphold. This tree isn't just a collection of dates, it's a living thing that stands for all the possible outcomes. It glows green, just like Loki's magic. In the MCU, green energy is often related to time and gravity, which are two forces that are very closely linked. Science tells us that gravity can change the flow of time. For example, black holes have gravity pulls that are so strong that they can slow time down. This means that Loki's green energy is about more than just power. It's also about controlling time and gravity, which are two forces that keep the universe in balance. When Loki weaves his magic into the multiverse tree, he doesn't just stop the timelines from falling apart, he gives them new life. They will continue to grow and change because he's giving them life. The tree's green glow is not just for show, it's a sign of how Loki has given the multiverse life and promise. There has been a huge change in Loki by the time he sits on that throne. The things that used to drive him, like wanting power or getting even, no longer do. It's a sense of duty that drives him instead. Loki is very aware that he's the sole ruler of the many worlds and is very serious about his duty to do so. In this multiverse, he has become the god who holds everything together and protects everything. The link between Loki's Tree of Many Worlds and Yggdrasil, the world tree from Norse folklore, is where things get interesting. You know about Yggdrasil if you have seen the Thor movies. The 9 worlds of the Marvel Universe are linked by this huge tree. The Norse myths make it a big deal, and the MCU does too. You might think that the tree Loki builds at the end of the season is just another form of Yggdrasil, but things are not that simple. In the Marvel world, Yggdrasil is a symbol that is unique to each of the 9 realms. For example, Asgard, Midgard, which is Earth, and so on. The gods of Asgard use it to plan out how their world is put together, but Loki makes something much bigger. Something that stands for the whole universe, not just the 9 realms. In the end, we have 2 different trees. Loki's multiversal tree, which shows the endless branches of the multiverse, and Yggdrasil, which shows the 9 realms of the Marvel Universe. Even though they look alike, they're used for very different things. Yggdrasil is about how the Marvel world is structured, and Loki's tree is about how the multiverse can be used in any way. Loki's story is also a story of how people can change. He has lied to his family, tried to take over the world, and caused a lot of chaos in the universe across his lifetime. But by the time he gets to that seat in space, Loki has done everything around him. He's not just trying to be forgiven, he's trying to make things right. Loki is making sure that all the bad things he's done are cancelled out by the good things he's now doing. Seeing a god who has spent his whole life causing chaos sitting on a throne that stands for balance and order is very powerful. Loki has always been a complicated figure, and this last scene shows that. He is still the god of chaos, but now he's helping someone more important than himself. The MCU has always been about how people change and how heroes find their true calling. One of the most interesting cases of this is Loki's journey. He's not there anymore, he has moved ahead. Grew to a level no one expected. Loki was always fun, and I guess no one could have ever imagined such a big change in this character. Honestly, when this change was happening on screen, I had mixed feelings. I did not know how to feel, I was happy and disappointed at the same time, and maybe that is what MCU was trying to achieve. Maybe. He went from being a character who was pushed by his doubts to a god who keeps the multiverse together. It's a story about how people change, grow, and find their place in the world. Loki's change from causing trouble to protecting the world is one of the best storylines in the whole MCU. It's a story about turning things around, taking responsibility, and finding your true calling. Loki shows that even a liar can turn into a hero, and that even the god of mischief can save the day. The last change Loki makes is the end of everything he has been through. He has seen his ghosts, dealt with his past, and found a way to fix things. He has become something bigger than he ever thought possible. Since then, Loki has become more than just a character who causes trouble for fun. He is now the god who protects all creation and keeps the multiverse in balance. And sorry to disappoint you, but Loki has changed, my friend. From which MCU movie do you like Loki the most? Share with us in the comment section below. If you enjoyed watching the video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel.